because YouTube has hit me with the YouTube jail. You can't upload for about what is it, like 2 weeks or something? You know, and it was for hate speech, and then it was also for copyright strike. And I'm not going to talk about that. Well, that is part of everything. What I really want to talk about is this weird thing I see online. Now, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to rant on with this rant, so bear with me. But these are just some things that are extremely worrisome. When I watch the internet and I listen to people talk, it's just like extremely worrisome to me for certain reasons. So like, you get a lot of black people like myself, you know, and well, at least they look like me. I'll say. But you get people claiming themselves to be black or claiming themselves to be African, and you know, you get a lot of weird things. Like you hear people talk about, oh well, black conservatism is confusing, so they don't understand that black conservatism. They don't understand the necessity for that. That's one weird thing. Another thing that worries me extremely is black people's obsession with Christianity. Another thing that really worries me is black people's, how do I say this? Black people's fear and superstition surrounding non-Christian things. That's another thing. Black people's fear and superstition around the unknown or the paranormal. That's another thing that's extremely worrisome. And then finally, like the icing on the cake for me really, which makes me more angry than anything, is the demasculation of black males and black people adopting things. It's like they have this weird copycat syndrome. Like it's like, oh, I see a rapper do this, or I see a celebrity do this, so then I'm gonna start doing it. and then I'm thinking like, wait a second, are you sure you want to emulate that? Like, are you really sure you really want to emulate that? Like, what exactly are you emulating is my question. You know, like, are you, like, I ranted about this before, like, are you emulating the negative, violent things from black culture? Because you really shouldn't. You should know, the thing is this, you should know, any person should know when to be violent or when to be vigilant. You should know that, because we don't live in a harmless world. People and things are dangerous, but you got to understand, you should not be like you have to have balance. I've said this before. You shouldn't ever, as a person, whether it's your culture, the way you live your life, your thinking, like, are you thinking rationally? Are your emotions and thoughts driving your actions? Or do you have self-control? You know what I mean? Like, any time that you do something extreme, that's way left field and extreme, and then you almost adopt that as like a lifestyle, I'm not going to say it will be dangerous, because you got to understand, we live in a world of, like, people get away with murder every day. People do things that are very risky, and somehow no repercussions come to them. So we also live in that reality too. So there is a balance, but I'm saying, like, usually a normal person, not Mr. Lucky Charms, I have a pot of gold where the sun don't shine, somehow I escape everything that's rightfully coming to me, which could be black or white, it doesn't matter, there's just people like that all the time. Usually it makes sense to have some balance to your thinking, actions, and everything, like, because when you go down a road that's dangerous, usually you're bound to get harmed some type of way. And I don't mean physically always, it could be anything. It's just when you do certain things and you adopt that, certain things can happen, like depending on who you are, because you're being reckless and careless and putting yourself in bad positions and adopting things that are actually detrimental to maybe your well-being. And by detrimental, I mean detrimental, not like detrimental just to your psyche, but detrimental to the how do I say this, to your culture, to everything. So all of those things that I listed are just detrimental to a human being. And I also always I kind of see this whole, like, I could only describe it as like the death of a person. You know, it's like a psychological, physiological, even like physical, on some physical levels. I see like a degrading and a death of a person in a chaotic deception, if you will, put on people. And so this is what where I'm really going to make my point. And not that anyone would agree, but just where I'm trying to make my point is, I'm a Satanist myself, right? I'm a Satanist. I'm all about this. I'm not about, you know, the norm, what people think, you know. So my mentality is a little bit different, and like I can see like, okay, well, why would you cause chaos if there's no reason to? You know what I mean? Like, I understand that. Like, why would you adopt things that are harmful to yourself? Like why? Are you trying to destroy yourself, or are you too stupid to know that something's destroying you? So I'll say 98% of stuff that's going around with this whole black communal thing. I heard someone, they ranted, they literally said something like, okay, well, black people used to worship in church or something, you know, Christianity. It was very communal. And I'm thinking, like, that's not always a good thing. Because this whole, you know, not wanting to be an individual, that's what I mean. What I'm really trying to say is that's half of black people's problem, is that they don't want to be individuals. They want to always be a communal thing. It has to be a clique. It has to be a gang. It has to be a, you know, like, it has to be this very labeled thing that everybody knows about, in your quote cool, or your quote in, or your quote this, or your quote whatever. Like, the sad truth is that's kind of like the scenario of, like, when the ship sinks, those are all the people that are all gonna die. You get what I'm saying? You're all gonna die because you're all in the same lane. You will all suffer horribly. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the individuals that had the sense to get out of there, regardless of what anyone thinks. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm an individual. You know, that's the point I'm trying to make. is like, you know, I'm an individual, so I'm not gonna be the person sinking with everyone else, or with all the other dumb black people. And one of the things that annoys me is then you got these labels. You got people calling people coons. You know, you got people calling, probably just because I said dumb black people, it's probably going to get a hate speech on the algorithm or something. Because the algorithm is too stupid to understand what I'm really saying. So, you know, but anyway, what I'm saying is, all the black people that are on this, like, whole, it's like, what is with this whole, like, and honestly, to me, it's the corniest thing I've ever seen. It's like, you're either this, what do you call it, conscious community, Hotep spiritual black, or you're this Christian spiritual black, or you're this African, Pan-Africanism, pro-black black, or you are a supposed, conservative coon, house Negro black. And it's like, you know, the way Morgan Freeman had said it, saying, like, you know, we're gonna stop calling each other black and white. Like, now I understand that nothing is that simple, but he was onto something there. Like, people that actually understand the concept of that, like, you either accomplish something because it doesn't matter what, like, you say, oh, system's working against you or this, then why are there individuals that have clearly beat that system? Like, why? How and why? Why are there people that have actually destroyed that so-called system completely? Why are there rich celebrities like Jay-Z out there? I'm not going to try to knock on Jay-Z in any type of way, but I'm just saying, like, when you just look at Jay-Z, like if you were to just look at him physically, first off, it's like he's just some dude. You know what I mean? He's just some light-skinned black dude with that married Beyonce. It's like, now I'm not saying it to say like he's not, you know, like a phenomenal like rapper and artist and creator and all that stuff. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is he's just a black man. Like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? What are you going to tell me? He sold his soul? Or are you going to try to tell me that there's some hack? Like, what are you going to tell? What are you really going to tell me? Are you going to tell me that he got like, I don't know how to say this to be clean, but I want to make this kid friendly. But let's just say, his Pandora's box got blown open wide by like a bunch of Caucasian males for him to get the deal or something. What are you really saying? Are you serious? Are you trying to tell me that a talented person who put in work, who has amassed wealth, who has had a level of discipline, and who has a gift, the system defeats them all the time? Then there wouldn't be any Jay-Z, Beyonce, and these rich, super rich people like Kanye West. There wouldn't be any of this stuff. You know, sorry. But the main problem with black people is no accountability. This is what I'm really trying to hit home. No accountability. No accountability. A pack mentality. You know, this whole mob mentality, which is like the whole communal, as we want to call it, communal. I feel like cursing, but I'm not going to curse because I know better. I'm really going to be safe when I speak on that. Using that. This whole like communal mentality, like, what are you doing? You know, it's like communal my what? You know, like, no. Communal has its limit. Everything has a limit. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like there is a limit. And one thing that really angers me so much about this whole, all these black people always boo-hooing in calling this person a coon and calling, you know, and blaming this blame game, which there's like so many successful YouTube channels that's what I'm sorry, but that's really all I'm seeing on them is you just complaining, placing the blame where you think it should be placed, and you're black, and you somehow have a platform because, you know, the what do you call it? The leftist type of view or is popular, and somehow us as black people have been stupid enough to allow ourselves to get connected any type of way into all that nonsense. And I've said this before many times in different ways. It's because of no accountability. A packed group mentality. A fear of being an individual. A fear of doing not necessarily what's right, but doing, because there's no, it's what's right. Right and wrong is irrelevant. Life is about success. Okay? Like I said before, it's life or death, it's win or lose, it's success. It's not about all that sissy, oh, you know, then you got these sissy blacks, oh, well, black people are empathetic and whites lack empathy. Let me tell you something. Do you know what real power is? Real power is to be able to have empathy that actually hurts you, that you feel, and ignore it. Do you understand that? It's the ability that you have so much control that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you feel or what you think. It doesn't matter that you have to step on someone, that you have to stamp somebody out. It doesn't matter. You know what sacrifice you have to make to acquire what you want. Maybe not even need. You know, people are expendable. That's the way it is. Sorry. That's not a white thing. And someone could argue all day, but I'm going to say, look at Africa now. Look at all the so-called black and brown areas now, and go back and see what's always been going on. Ruthlessness, man, straight up savagery, murder, tyranny, and savagery. And the thing is this: if you're gonna do that, at least do it right, and at least be successful with it, right? At least be successful. So. And then someone's going to say, oh, what about Russia? Russia's not... Look what's happening. Look, like I said, pros and cons, and there's balance to everything. Pros and cons, and balance to everything. You know, so me as a person who is satanic, martial arts based, violent, sinister, but knows that you know, you could wind up in jail. So you got to learn how to control yourself. You know, you have to learn, like, okay, how do you get something you want in life? You have to play whatever's game that is laid out that you have to play to get that. So you have to have balance. It's not like you can't do, I'm not going to curse, but you can't do some hood crap and think that you're going to be so connected with this person, that person, the other person, and you're going to have real... It's too risky. It's too risky. I'm not saying I'm a good person like that. I'm so virtuous that I don't care about like hurting people or doing certain things. But the thing is, for me, it is so risky. I will not put myself in that situation. I will play the so-called white man's game and win. Because that's another problem with blacks, is blacks thinking that somehow you have a black hood hack to something or to anything. Like you think there's some... Look, maybe you do. Some of you, maybe you probably do. You actually have hacked life, you know? But for most people, like it's like such a tiny chance that you would succeed playing that game. So my whole thing is this, is I'm just always going to be who I am, but I'm not a dummy, right? And I'm definitely not going to fall into this whole nonsense about, oh, you know, oh, that's you know, rigged, that's the white man's game. It's perfect. Nah, man, get out of here with that. So another thing I have to say is, do I believe in like this whole thing about sewing into black businesses or black wealth and all that? My thing is this, man. If it seems over enough time to be such a lucrative thing, and it seems like it's a trend that is like working in my favor, if I had any money, of course I would, because that's how you have to try something to see. But it's not because like, oh, you're my brother. No one's my brother, bro. My brother Aaron is my is my brother. My brother Saquon is my brother. But look here, if it was in a different world, like a different reality or whatever, I would be coming for them like I would be coming for any other human being. It wouldn't matter. So don't think that this whole black love, oh, we're all brothers. Look, in this world, you're a human, something else, or whatever you are. Everyone is a brother and sister. Okay, if you can be in this reality moving around, how I consider it, we're all related. This is nothing is about like blood ties. Nothing's about that. Okay, it can never be about that. Nothing is about that. Do you get what I'm saying? For me, at least, that's my view. Nothing is about that. Like I said, it's about pros and cons, what you're willing to sacrifice or gain, and what you're willing to do for. It has nothing to do with any of that nonsense. Okay? And like relationships in love only comes into that picture depending on what another person does, or it doesn't even have to be a person, whatever being it is doing, gives them the leeway that you value them and you put value in them. It's not about because we're both black. It's not about because you're both white or because you're opposite race. It's not about that. So just stop. Like, and this is what I mean about the sissy stuff. Just stop the sissiness, because for me that's sissy. Like I said, you deal with these, bro. That's all. That is it. It's like I said, it's what you can do as a person, what you're physically capable of, and how good you are at it. That's everything. That's when you get up and do your job, when you clock in, when you get on your computer, whatever your profession is. That's all it's about. It's about this. It's about hard, cold abilities, right? It's about what you can do, right? For the most part, you get what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's never been about that, man. I'm not one of these black guys that's on this. Oh, we're, you know, what's sob story? You know, it's like, what is this? It doesn't. I'm gonna put it to you like this: the same people that claim that whole, you know, black love, black this, black that, will be the same people to cut your throat if it's between you and them. And come on, man, it's always like that. I'm not saying every situation is like that, like a crab in a barrel situation, but I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to make the point to you that, like, that's life in general. Like, for instance, what happens when you have, it's like, you could have a wife or something, right? Now, what happens if, like, you get really, really sick, you have no means of, like, the income you had before, and she just can't live with this stress anymore, the relationship is deteriorated so much, so she leaves, right? Now, anyone can say, preach up and down how bad she is, how bad of a woman she is, or if this was a man in the case scenario. Anyone can, but you also have to realize that, look, you failed. You failed, maybe not because it was even your fault. And I'm not going to go on a tangent, but I'm going to have to talk on this too. This whole game of, you can't hate me for something I can't control, or you can't dislike me for something I supposedly can't control, to me that is nonsense. I will do worse than not like you for things that you can't control. Get that through your head also, okay? Because it doesn't matter to me. You know why? Because to me you're so insignificant that I don't care. Do you understand that concept? I don't care how right or wrong it is, or why I don't like you, or why I this or that you. No, it's going to happen, because if you're not going to be able to stop me, then it's going down. Do you get that concept? That's a real simple concept, and it happens so fast in the like I said, in the real world, not the sissy your emotions world. Like I said, in real time, fast. That's how things happen. It's not about, oh well, you can't. It's not. No. Look here, bro. There's so many things in this world, and there's so many options in this world, other than, like, per se, you or your sister or your brother, mother, whoever. Just like a job. Like, no one has to pick you for anything. In fact, you could get spit on, crushed, mangled, tossed away, and whatever, simply because you don't fit the criteria for said person. And it could be because of nothing you could control. It could be because of your race, and it could be because of the way you talk, the way you sound, the way you look, the way you act, the way you dress. It's up to them. That's a concept. That's just reality. No woman has to choose me. What? Because I'm black? You know what I mean? Or because this or that. Like, no one has to do anything. You get what I'm saying? No one has to play by your framework of virtue in your little brain, of what you think virtue is, or right and wrong. There is no right and wrong. Everything is subjective. There's no right and wrong. There's cause and effect. but that's physical. You get what I'm saying? There's no right and wrong. You know, it is what it is. So black people need to get that through your head. You need to get that through your head, man. I don't know. There's a softness of, that's one thing I don't like. There's like this softness that I can't stand about us as a people that is weird. It's strange. It's a strange thing with black people. It's like such a soft, and I think that's something that holds us back a lot. It's this soft mentality of like virtue, and you know, it's communal, and you know, blood ties, my family. Look here, you better, like I said, you better do what you have to do to survive, or to get what you want and more. Not just survive, but to thrive. You need to cut the BS, man. Cut all that crap. So that's one thing I have to speak on. Another thing I'm going to speak on, right, is this whole how do I say this? I'm trying to think how I can say this. You know what? I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna even rant on that, because if I rant on that, YouTube is gonna shut me down. So I'm not going to rant on that. I'm just not even gonna go there. But what I am gonna rant on is I'm going to rant on this whole like I said before, this whole black people like struggling to hold on to some supposed culture that's supposed to be theirs. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand, your identity and your culture is not going to go anywhere. It's just not. It's not going anywhere. It's not going. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not going anywhere. So nothing that you're going to do is going to make you, I have to say with quotation marks, less black or whatever. Nothing is going to make you a supposed coon or Uncle Tom or nothing. Because you have to realize, and I think I'm going to close soon, but the point I'm trying to make is this, is all that human stuff that you're thinking means nothing. This is a problem, and this is something that not even just black people, us as human beings need to adopt. Just because you're human does not mean that you can't be spiritual. Do you get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you are too human. You think, you limit yourself. That's how I'm really trying to say it. You limit yourself by your emotions. That's what I'm saying. You let your emotions that weaken you limit your potential. You don't understand that to be, quote, cold, or what you think is, quote, wrong, or Uncle Tom, or coon, or all these things that you're thinking, and you know that's pressuring on you from your own people or whoever, not even just black, white, whatever you are, all of that stuff that you're thinking of is weak, soft, human thoughts. So you think you're supposed to be spiritual, right? I mean, you are black, right? Well, most likely, this is geared mostly for black people. You're supposed to be. You're not spiritual. You're not. You haven't even scratched the surface. You are not spiritual. You are too human. Like I said before, because you're letting your emotions rule you. If your emotions are, and the thing is this, you get to pick and choose. That's the thing about a person. You can pick and choose what you're willing to accept or not. But what I'm saying is, for the most part, if your emotions of virtue and, you know, your identity and your sense of community and your sense of culture and your blood ties and, you know, your blackness and all stuff, if that is ruling you to your own detriment, then you're a fool. And you need to, like, learn to overcome that. You need to learn to be cold and be inhuman. You need to be inhuman. Like, you need to be so cold that, how do I say this? You need to be so cold and so selfish in a way. And like I said, don't take this like with everything, but I mean with certain things, you need to literally be so cold and so selfish that it feels painful to you to even be that way. Like it doesn't feel natural. But see, that's the process. That's the process of transformation. That's like the empowering process of that you're becoming a more powerful person, because what you're doing is you're seeing the big picture. You're not thinking with like a little brain and you're trapped in this little box and you're limiting yourself because you're actually thinking, oh, you know, I can't, that's wrong, or this is no, this is, nothing's wrong. You're either gonna win or you're going to lose. You're going to fail or you're going to succeed. So all that morality and all that whatever sentiment and what's really people I say, especially black people like myself, they always empathy, that needs to go out the window. You know what I mean? All that has to go out the window. You know, and you could even, like, I'll even give you an example, and I'm about to cut it off. You could literally for like years pick and choose what you're going to value and who and how you're going to value them. Like, it's like literally you're going to think like, that person doesn't mean, that person means nothing to me, that person's an insect, that person, you know, I see potential in that person, so I'm going to treat them better, I'm going to have higher expectations for that person, and XYZ, these people over here, those people could die and burn, and I don't care, you know, a friggin' fire or something, and I wouldn't be on it. You know, that's reality. Get that through your head. And the problem is this: if that sounds harsh to you, then you are more naive than I could ever imagine. If you don't understand those concepts, you're so naive that it is painful that you're that naive. I don't care what race you are, what position you are. If you don't get that concept, you have to understand that concept. In matter of fact, I'll even break it down to you more so you really get a grasp on how that is a reality. And you don't even know it. You don't even understand that that's the reality you live every day. Now, for instance, let me give you a scenario. There's some guy in the street. He smells like, I'm not gonna curse, but let's just say he smells like pissies and poopies. This guy, you know, his hair is crazy, he's dirty, he's got a sign, he's trying to fly a sign, he's trying to panhandle, and you're thinking, dude, what are you actually accomplishing? Like, what is the point of people helping you and you are contributing nothing? You are selfish yourself. You probably have addictions or an addiction. You're a lost cause. Helping you, like, trying to push a rock up a hill. Somebody might as well just let you just die, bro. Just starve or whatever. Whatever's gonna happen to you to get you out of the way, because you're just wasting time. That's how I look at it. Now, someone would say, "Oh no, it can't be like that. That's horrible." No, but look at it like this. Would you give everything you had for that person to throw all of it away? Would that person, if they were put in a position like yourself or higher, even have the discipline and strength and backbone to actually keep all of that? Or would they just ruin it because they have it? Do you get what I'm saying? Because of what they actually are. And that's why they're in the position that they are in the first place. They could probably say, no, well, it was no. Half of the time, the reason why they're where they are is reasons why they got there. Okay? That's my point. So, tonight, what are you going to do? Are you going to go inside your house? Are you going to make a sandwich? Are you going to watch Netflix? Are you going to pull the covers over yourself? Or are you going to give everything? Are you going to give your fridge to a stranger? Are you going to invite like 6 homeless people that God knows what would happen if you let them sleep in your house? You probably wake up hog-tied, everything out your apartment. Who knows what even worse than that, you know what I mean? This is the world. That's what I'm trying to say. My point is this: you have to pick and choose. Even if you don't, if this is too much for you to handle, start small. Understand the concept of, like, understand why you were even valuing things and people that you're valuing, and why? Are you doing yourself a disservice? What are you serving? Who are you serving? You get my point? Like, what's really going on here? What's really going on here, man? Because I want to know. Because what I see is a lot of bullcrap. That's what I see. It's a lot of nonsense, man. A lot of this whole, it's just so much nonsense. It's painful. It literally is psychological. For me, it's psychologically painful. It actually is very painful. Sometimes I just tune it out. Like, I hear people say things, I see things, I'm just like, man, this is painful to even, like, it's just pain. Like I said, it is so painful to literally watch. Like, it is brain rotting. Like, not that I feel sorry for, but I'm so glad that I am awake enough and understand to not be that person. Because God help him, not God help him, but you dying a slow death is what you're doing. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't going nowhere. And that's all that is, man. And the whole thing is this. I can't say I'm guaranteed anything, any success or anything, but at least I'm trying is my thing. At least my mind understands that there is something else. That's the problem. When someone doesn't even understand that there's something else, they think they're actually so deluded that they think it's this. Is what I mean about, like, being too human. Not being inhuman, not being cold enough. You're thinking that somehow there's no way. Like, you're like, oh, there's no way, or I can't become that person. No, you will become that person. See, you get what I'm saying? Like I said, this, you will. No, you will. No. You think no, you will, bro. This is like you're gonna die, bro. You better become that person. You will become. Not. Oh, what if not? It's no what if. It's you will. It's you will, or I'm going to saw your head off. After the fact, it's over for you. That's what it really is. It's over. Think of it like that. Think of it like that. Like, this is not a game. This is not a game. This is not. Oh, I can't. No, you will. Because if you don't, you're going to be with the rest of them over there. You're going to be in the ground. And my point is, you may not be in the ground literally yet, but you are pretty much walking dead. You're pretty much going towards nothing. Like I said, it's like this drug addiction thing. You know, it's like that. It's like, you're gonna die soon. I've seen people die. I've seen many people die. So it's like, you will die. You will. This is not a game. This is no, oh, maybe, no, maybe nothing. It's either you better stop, or you're going to die. Do you understand? You might as well do a favor and just cut it soon. Just do it yourself then. Fast, because you're just, you're just taking up air for the rest of us. And that's another thing I'm going to say before I close. This whole, like, pro-life, this, that. I'm pro-death, man. And matter of fact, I said this before, the world is too crowded. It is too crowded anyway. One of the main reasons why we struggle with finance so much is because there's just too many people. There's too many children. There's too many. You need more resources and then less people. So, this is the rant. This rant may be mean, but it shouldn't be inappropriate. So, I'm putting this up. But another thing I'm tired of this is I'm tired of YouTube trying to turn itself into a kids channel / LGBTQX. You're trying to mix. I don't even know what you're doing. You're trying to mix. You're trying to be a sissy-based platform and you're trying to be queer, but at the same time you're trying to be left-leaning, and you want it to be kid content because you don't want things to be adult anymore. Creativity. What are you doing, bro? You can't even. Those things don't even. They don't even really mix. All those things are like. They don't mix. They don't, man. These little kids don't have sexuality, so don't try and feed me that nonsense. They don't have a sexuality really yet. They don't, so don't try to. Just stop. So this is a rant. This is the rant. And it is what it is. This is your host, Steve from the back again. And have a nice day.